Hey everyone, it's Jamar here, and I wanted to make a video to explain to you a lot about my experience getting back into the work field and basically what I've been doing. So, as some of you know from my previous channel, I used to work in armed security and I used to work on government contracts and work alongside police and in investigation units and things of that nature. Um, a lot of you may have known me from some of my events that were covered in news coverage, and I'll try and post some pictures somewhere in this video and some clips potentially somewhere in this video, and I'll drop some links below for you guys to look back onto that if you're curious. But I have worked with National Intelligence in Canada, which is CSIS, and I have worked alongside the federal RCMP, um, which is basically the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. I've worked with their liaison unit in a few of my events. So that is a bit of my background. It's all tactical and law enforcement related. It's all investigative related. And yeah, so that is my background. I've done a bit of armed response and I've done a bit of alarm response as well. So that being said, I am now here in the UK and I'm trying to get back into the same field, but I've been taking my time with things. I've been doing things at a bit of a manageable pace. I didn't want to rush straight into a proper corporate position just because I feel like that's going to come with a lot of pressure and expectations, and that therefore would not allow me the time or the luxury of time that I need and require to get certain things set into place over here. So that being said, I've decided to go back into security. When I came over here, I had to basically redo a lot of my licensing, a lot of my certificates, and all that jazz, which I suppose if people put in enough demand, I will make a particular video on the process of that and the length it took and everything that I had to do and all the loopholes. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to leave it at that. I've basically had to redo all my licensing. I've got an extensive background. I've got all my training for mental health, working around people with mental health, people in violent and non-violent crisis situations. I've got my use of force training. I've got handcuffing certificates. I've got my training to actually make lawful arrest. I study law. I study police foundations. I study criminal law. So I'm very familiar with a lot of different things within the field. Part of my studies actually requires me to study forensics, psychology, and other things related to that field. Essentially, there's quite a bit to it, and so therefore I would say to the average person that does watch this video and think, oh yeah, I want to come over to England and do exactly what he's doing, I'm going to tell you it's not going to be a straight shot. You're going to have to put in your time. You're going to have some sort of credibility to do some of the things that I'm doing, because a lot of the things that you guys will see me showing you on here is going to be things that more than likely I acquire on by being personally invited to attend these particular events and work these particular events, and you don't get personal invites to work things like that unless you've got some form of credibility by word of mouth through other individuals that trust you and believe that your work is reputable and basically responsible and won't shoot them up shit's creek basically. So all that being said, yes, I've got back into the security field. I am still armored, for majority of it. That being said, I do work for a smaller corporate company at the moment, and I do that full time. So I'm on a new salary with them. I'll be straight up with you guys. I'm pulling in just around 27 to the 30K range a year at the moment. That's with benefits and the full package. And outside of that, I also have my own business, which I work in clubs and pubs, and I do that part time, and I make money through my business doing that. That helps me with things like rent and all that stuff, and then the rest of the money that I make from my actual salary, I put that in towards my savings, towards a mortgage, etc., etc. Also, a lot of you guys know that having multiple streams of income is very, very important to me. So prior to moving, if you guys were watching my previous channel, you would have heard me mention the release of, at that time, 2 of my books. I've now got 4 books that I've published and released. They're available on many platforms, including Amazon. So feel free to type my name on Amazon and you should see my books come up. So what I'm trying to put across to you is that I've basically established multiple sources of income for myself since being here, and what you're about to see is only a small spectrum of what I'm actually doing on a day-to-day basis and what I engage in a work field environment. So bear that in mind. I'm showing you a bit of the fun side of things rather than the nitty-gritty, and part of that is due to the fact that usually the nitty-gritty bits are bits that I'm not allowed to film and share with the public. Sorry, give me 1 second. Sorry guys. So yeah, usually the nitty-gritty stuff is stuff that I'm not really allowed to film and share with the public, and so therefore I'm going to show you the fun stuff that I can film and can share with you. So stay tuned. I'm going to drop some clips below from some events that I have gone to. It's not going to be a lot. I'll probably just share one event that I've gone to with you guys, and that way I'll keep the video nice and short and sweet, and I'll get into a bit more about my work-life balance, maybe perhaps in another video, but I just want to wait and see what kind of questions that I get from you guys, and really just see what people are thinking, what their thoughts are, what they want to ask me, and I'll just kind of take it from there really, because as of right now I've just been kind of rambling onto the camera and trying to get a bit of feedback from my audience and see what you guys want to know about and what you guys want to hear, and yeah, what I should make more videos about. But yeah, so this has been my experience. Like I said, I've gone back into security. I work for one full-time company, I work part-time under my own company, and as you guys know, I'm also in the Army Reserves, and I do that every week as well. So that's 3 jobs that I physically have to attend and go to, and on top of that I've got my my published books, which make me an additional income, and I'm always willing to do extra bits on the side. So yeah, basically, oh, in addition to that, I've also got my art company, which you guys would know about. I sell canvases and prints and things of that nature. I print on acrylic, metal, all that stuff. And all my prints get printed out in a lab out in Scotland. So everything is UK based and local to where I am. And yeah, you guys are going to see probably a little bit more of that as well at some point, because I reckon I'm going to start printing out more hard copies of my books and taking them out and promoting them and giving them to reading clubs and things of that nature. So that is another additional piece in terms of my work life and my financial life, and basically my financial foundation that I've been working hard to build up here within the UK. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to show you guys a clip now, and this clip is going to be, I believe, from a festival that I was working recently, and I just thought it would be really fun to show you guys a bit of what I'm doing, a bit of the crowds that I'm surrounded around since being here, and just a little bit of the different adventurous things that I've been experiencing that I probably wouldn't have experienced over in Canada, because like I said, it's a different crowd, it's a different social culture, and yeah, so I'm going to share that with you guys now, and I hope you enjoy. favorite one. What's up, everybody? So I'm back. What I've done is just basically pause the vlog, show you guys my little clips from the festival that I was telling you guys about, and now I'm just going to basically end the video off here. Let me know what you guys think about the clips that I've posted. I'm currently editing the video at the moment, so just please let me know what you guys think of the clips. Let me know if you want me to bring you along on different event styles and things of that nature, if I can do. I will start looking into trying to get myself into more events once I start to get a bit more of a steady schedule, because I am working for another company at the moment as well, so I do have to prioritize my work with them. But that being said, I think I would like to try and possibly get into some sort of like a Comic-Con event or a tattoo expo or something of that nature, something a bit different and interesting, so that I can actually walk around with a little bit more leisure and just show you guys kind of like a bit more of what's actually taking place within the communities and the social culture over here, rather than just showing you just like quite intense like work roles or positions or environments. Not saying that this festival was intense by any means. This festival was more of a fun one that I've done, and that's why I've been able to film it and show you that. But yeah, I do want to kind of show you guys a little bit more of what's out there within my field and what kind of things you can get involved with. And really just show you the potential and opportunity that you could have if you decide to pick up security as one of your first foundations when you come over here, or if you decide to move over here, because it is quite a steady feel once you do get in. So There's always work. There's lots of work. There's lots of different styles or types of work that you could do within this sector. And my thought process is sharing this with you guys will kind of give you guys a bit of a basis and foundation as to something that you could potentially get into and relatively easily, somewhat relatively easily, get on your feet and rebuild for yourself in this new country. So yeah, that was my experience at doing the festival. That's my first festival that I've done since I've moved over here. I've done concerts and stuff like that before. As you guys know, I've done close protection and all sorts of different things. So yeah, but that was really interesting. It was the first festival I've done here. And I think that's also the first kind of like hippie style, like trance type festival that I've done in general. So that alone was quite interesting. As you guys could see in the clips, I was roaming around with one of my partners, colleagues, who's also one of my friends, and we've been looking at some of the art pieces that were on display, and basically just kind of taking in what was around us and our surroundings. If you can see, if you had seen in those clips, you could see that we were quite nonchalant and very laid back and chill. You know, our job was really to just monitor everybody, interact with everybody, make sure everything is safe, make sure everyone's okay. Obviously, with those kind of festivals, as expected, you will encounter and run into a lot of drug use, which we did have to monitor and be aware of. And part of the reason I was on that particular operation is because I am actually trained to deal with overdoses, and I do actually have kit to counter overdoses, especially like opioid overdoses. So that is part of the reason I was there, to kind of mitigate the risk for the event staff and the security contractor who's offered me the role, kind of to be there and make sure that everything goes smoothly for them and they don't run into any problems. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little clip. It was only a little bit of a brief clip, but I wanted to keep the video quite short. As I said, I'm trying to keep my videos to about 15 to 20 minutes tops. I'm finding that's kind of like the golden number that I need to stick around. It was 10 initially, but I'm finding I may need a little bit more time in some of my clips, because I do tend to ramble on, as I'm sure you guys have noticed. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into things. I'm trying to be more talkative with you guys and give you guys a bit more of a interactive format of video. And I really do want to try and show you guys a lot more of what's going on with my life over here in the UK. So I'm going to try and bring my camera with me more. I am going to try and film a lot more often and get outside of my comfort zone and really just put myself out there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I hope this was a decent video for you to watch. Obviously it didn't really go into too much depth, but I just thought it would be really interesting to show you just the festival in general, and perhaps just see me in my uniform and see that really, you know, once you put in the work up front and you go through all your hassle of getting all your licenses and things of that nature, you can actually pick up some quite interesting and fun work. And as you can see, I was getting paid to really just roam around and make sure everybody is okay. Now, that being said, if something was to kick off, yes, I do have the training to deal with a plethora of situations, and that is part of why I'm there. But all that aside, more times than less, if you've got a good set of people around you and you've got a good form of interaction with your community and the people that are attending, your attendees, then more times than less, they'll have mutual respect for you, and you're very unlikely to encounter too much bad issues or any sort of like real problem on the premise whilst you're working. That being said, stuff will always happen. I did have a couple encounters during that day, but it wasn't anything crazy and it was tolerable, and we did handle the situation within about half an hour or so, and it was all good. So that being said, half an hour of an ordeal is not really anything to complain about, considering I was getting a full day's pay of work, and I've only had one incident which took a half an hour out of like a 12-hour shift. So to me, that's a no-brainer. It was a good shift, successful shift, and I'm more than happy to try and share more of these things with you guys. But yeah, just to give you guys a bit of a general scope, I know not a lot of people are comfortable sharing numbers and things of that nature on YouTube, but I'm here to try and give you guys a bit of a more authentic idea of what you can achieve and what to expect when you come over here. Now, part of the thing with working festivals is they tend to pay a bit more if you're qualified. So I'm just putting that out there. Like for that festival, I was charging about 17 quid an hour, which even then was still a bit on the lower scale, but it was a fair price for what it was. So yeah, 17 an hour, 12-hour shifts. I was making about two something a day, and that is more than a good take-home day rate. So you can't really complain with that. You can't be unhappy with that, as long as you're willing to put in the work. So like I said, guys, everything is there for you. You've just got to make the effort to position yourself to get to the point where you can accept those kind of job roles, and yeah, from there on you'll be smooth sailing, really. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the clips, as I said, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.